felt so attached to a AI character before, and I felt kind of weird about it. Hi guys, this is Jean from Happy Indulgence and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite books of all time, and that is OBSIDIO, which is the third book in the Illuminae Files series. Oh my gosh guys, I have just finished reading this yesterday and I am in shock. Like, I literally have not experienced that much intensity in a book before. Even Illuminae and Gemini didn't cause that much heartache and grief. I mean, as I was reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, my heart was beating so fast and I wasn't breathing. And I literally felt like a YA character because at the end of the book, I finally let out the breath that I didn't know I was holding. But anyway, I just can't believe, like, how everything went down. But before I go into it, I'm just going to share with you guys my non-spoiler thoughts and opinions on OBSIDIO and what I thought about it. So if you've read Illuminae and Gemini, it should be safe for you to listen to that. But if you haven't, go away and read them now, please. I don't know why you haven't yet. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about some of my reactions to the spoilerish thoughts. So I'll make sure you guys are pre-warned before I go into that. So basically, OBSIDIO, holy shit. Holy shit. I just can't even talk about... Actually, you know what? This is going to be really hard because all my thoughts are going to be a jumbled mess, but we'll see how it goes. But oh my gosh, like, it's the first time we've seen each and every one of the characters all together. I love seeing them on the spaceship of the assault vessel Mao and seeing these teenagers basically take over the bridge and kick ass. Like, I just love the narrative because unlike the other books, it's really funny because there's, like, in both Illuminae and Gemini, there's these alien parasites that either invade your head or they turn people into zombies. But the scariest thing about OBSIDIO is how the humans actually are the evil ones, and it's the human invaders from Baytech who are living in a colony called Carenza, and they've taken over and they're taking people hostage there. They're trying to wipe out these space colonists there, and like, oh my gosh, there's so much relevancy for our world today. Basically, it's a bit like the invaders coming onto a planet and trying to take over the world. So it's funny how I thought about it a bit like colonialism and how they saw these space colonists as subhuman, and from the way they treated them to the way they just annihilated them just for no reason, and even like little children as well and young kids. These Baytech soldiers are pretty much just given orders, but they're basically coming in and invading these humans. You could definitely see just the pain that each and every death caused. And look, on OBSIDIO it says it's 2,474 people that they killed in this book. Like, that is really painful, and it's written in such a way that makes you care about each and every one of these characters, whether that's Hannah, that's Nick, that's Ezra, that's Katie, there's Aiden of course, and then the new two characters who are Asher and Reese as well. And it doesn't matter what side they're on, it doesn't matter what their thoughts and intentions are, even some of the newer characters who are in the space colony. Like, I really felt each and every one of these characters, and I felt for their motivations. The deaths that came really hurt me, and when you see how many page flags I have here, gosh, this book freaking hurt, okay? I just can't even tell you how intense this book is. Like, from the quieter moments to the more hard-hitting ones featuring death and gore, it's like the book never really lets up. And even in the quiet moments when they're reflecting on life, on everything they've been through, Katie's bond with Aiden, on Hannah and Nick surviving the Baytech invasion, there is so much here. There's so much here about survival, and I think when I reached about here in the book, I was in tears because our babies have come such a long way. We've seen these characters grow, and these characters like take over ships and kick ass, and literally they came from being these teenagers who didn't know what they were doing, they didn't know their place in the world, and they're thrust in the hands of really adult roles. Like, one of them is a gunner, is a commander of a ship, is the bridge, and like, it feels like they've really come on their own, and I'm really glad that this is where it all left off. And I'm going to say I will miss this series so much, obviously being one of my favorite series of all time, but I'm really glad to see that this is where it left off, because I can't picture them going through all the pain that they had before and seeing all the death. This is really cool. So I got my copy signed from a friend who got to go to the Sydney launch. So this is what it looks like. And I actually get killed in the book. Look at this. My name's actually in it. And Jay and Amy put sorry not sorry on there. So that's actually pretty damn funny. I actually already knew my name was going to be in there because I asked my friend who got an early copy to tell me if my name was in there. She sent me a photo. That's why we got it signed. But trust Amy and Jay to put it before. One of the most shocking scenes in the book that, like, oh my gosh, like, it had my heart racing, like the rest of the book really, but I literally had to step away from the book and recover before I could come back. What's really cool as well is that we finally find out the identity of the mysterious surveillance footage narrators, and it's really unexpected and I loved it. I just loved how it was revealed. I just love how it's a bit of a nod to the readers as well, because we've all been wondering since Illuminae and Gemini. I don't really want to flick through this book because you might run into spoilers, but as usual, you know, there's chat logs, there's emails, there's narrators, there's Aiden, there's also beautiful illustrations from Marie Lu, which is from Hannah's journal, as you all know, if you've read Gemini. Yeah, like, I can't even tell you just how much I adore and love this series. If you love sci-fi, yes, it is really heavy on the sci-fi. There's heaps of spaceship battles here, and holy shit, towards the end I just didn't know what was happening because I had this intense fear for each and every one of the characters, for hoping each and every one of them survived. And can I just tell you, I'm not the same person anymore than I was before I read this book, because I've never undergone so much heartache and so much pain and all the tears. Like, oh my gosh, can you get even better than OBSIDIO? I don't think so. There's two new characters introduced in OBSIDIO, and that's Asha and Reese, and both of them are on the Carenza 4 colony. A different romance again, but not really a romance because they used to date. Reese is her ex-boyfriend. It sounds like it was a bad breakup, but she needs Reese to infiltrate Baytech and try and find an escape for the planet. And oh my gosh, it was really brutal. Throughout the whole book you're wondering if he's gonna betray her, if he's gonna go with her, and like, it even shocked me, and I usually see these twists coming, so I loved it. One part I really liked as well is the political BS that happens when the kids take over the Mao, and basically these teens have come in because they've helped everyone survive from the previous, well, not everyone, but you know, enough people survived from the previous ships, and obviously Ezra's the most qualified flight pilot, Katie's the most qualified when it comes to hacking and when it comes to the strategic advice, and like, these old people on the ship just can't hack it. And then there's Gava, and he's like this commander who just, he's really rude and pushes the boundaries because he hates being directed around by a kid, and like, he can't take it that these young kids are telling him what to do, and it's pretty much like corporate bullshit, and it's hilarious. Like, even though they're more experienced than you and they know what they're doing, you can't take authority from a teenager really. And I love seeing how that evolve as well, and how that becomes such a pinnacle part of the story. Another thing is, like, Amy and Jay tried to put as many deaths in here as possible because they had a name competition. Basically, you had to pre-order the book to get into a competition to have your name in the book. So as I was reading, I recognized a lot of names of my fellow bloggers, of some of my friends, and also of some other authors, especially the Aussie authors. So definitely keep an eye out for that. It's pretty funny when you recognize another reference that they've put in, including Amy and Jay's dog. So that's about all I can say about OBSIDIO and the non-spoilery part. I'll be going into the spoilers soon, so yeah, I'll see you guys later, and stay on if you want to be spoiled, or if you've read the book obviously. So guys, even though no one died, at the end from the main cast, I can't even tell you just how worried I was as I was reading the entire book. And Amy and Jay are so fucking cruel for like the foreshadowing. Like, you'll get those massive texts from Aiden going, worried? Well, you should be. And I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to my babies? Because we've been through a lot and they've come through so much to just, you know, randomly get killed off. And oh my gosh, am I even like crying right now? And then like, even at the cafe at the end, you know, when they're all sitting together and everything's all said and done and you see them actually laughing and acting like normal teenagers, even then I was like, please, please don't tell me that this is going to be fake and that it's a dream, because I really want this to be happening right now. And then when you see Aiden on the last few pages, holy shit, I was like, I'm like, how could you guys do that? It's insane. My gosh, like, I was really wrecked at so many points in the book, especially when you see like all the dead bodies at the end of Carenza 4 in like this ice, you know, frozen ice lake, and there's thousands and thousands of people. And then when Aiden had to like suffocate all these thousands of people on the Mao ship, like, it was actually really weird, because I'm like, oh yeah, I could see why he did that, but then you kind of can't sympathize with that because there's so much loss of human life in here. And like, whenever these hard decisions were made and whenever you saw another kill, like, there's 2 kids that get killed here and then there's another that gets sexually assaulted. Like, it's really terrible stuff, but then it just makes you feel so much, and I think that's why I love this series so much. And can I just say, Nick and Hannah, you know how much I love Gemini. Like, I've read it 4 times now. When Hannah told Nick that they didn't know each other and that they hadn't even kissed, because it's kind of like an alternate Nick that she kissed who is now dead. And it was just heartbreaking seeing her mourn her father and seeing her mourn the old Nick even. And like, that's something that added a complexity that I didn't even know, and it just boggled my mind even more than I couldn't even know. And oh my gosh, when Aiden admitted his feelings to Katie, like, oh my gosh, like, I just didn't even know like how I could deal with that, because you could tell that Aiden has developed an attachment to Katie. How does that even happen? And you can see their bond, and it's a bit weird at that point where Katie's like, are you trying to imitate Ezra? Because don't do that. That's really damn weird. And oh my gosh, like, so many deaths, so many feels. The twist that really got me was when Reese actually came back and saved Asher, because their performance was so good that I was completely convinced that he had betrayed her, and he had basically betrayed the Baytech soldiers. So anyway, oh my gosh, I think it's gonna take me a while to recover from this book, because seriously it was so intense that I was so anxious, I couldn't breathe, like my heart was racing. Oh my gosh, guys, you have to be prepared. So that's my thoughts on OBSIDIO. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, do you even know who I am? Anyway, so yes, definitely pick it up if you are keen on reading it. And yeah, that's about all. Here is my beautiful complete set that I love and adore. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my chatty review video. I don't even know if my thoughts are legible at this point, but hopefully they are. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and check out my other videos and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.